Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. Like most Star Wars content, the Ahsoka series started out with a bang, and there's been action at each and every turn. Ahsoka battled Marok at the New Republic shipyard on Peridea, Sabine was stabbed by Shin Hati, and there was an old-fashioned space battle when Ahsoka and Sabine found the Eye of Sion. Not to be outdone, Episode 4 Fallen Jedi featured a dramatic duel between Ahsoka and Baylan Skoll. Both showed their skill in the Force and their talent with a blade, but it was Baylan who triumphed. Ahsoka's defeat set the stage for the ethereal masterpiece that was Episode 5 Shadow Warrior. Somehow, she ended up in the world between worlds, which let fans see flashbacks of her and Anakin during their time in the Clone Wars. The otherworldly episode redeemed Ahsoka and turned her into Ahsoka the White, which prepared her for a return to the Jedi. While action and ethereal redemption have been the series' tone so far, Episode 6 Far Far Away totally changed the vibe. It was all about plot, and it answered one of Star Wars' most elusive questions. Not only that, the episode also teased the origins of all power in the galaxy. At long last, Ahsoka delivered and gave fans a glimpse outside the Star Wars galaxy. After a brief introduction, fans laid their eyes on Peridea. It was where the Purrgil went to die, but more importantly, it was where the Dathomirian Nightsisters originated. As the Eye of Sion approached the planet, Elsbeth's team received a signal from the surface. Following that signal, they soon found a Nightsister temple and 3 Nightsister mothers. They were clearly powerful in dark magics, but the reveal paled with the arrival of Grand Admiral Thrawn and his Star Destroyer, the Chimaera. Thrawn was cunning, but in a surprising twist, he agreed to honor Baylan's agreement with Sabine. He returned her belongings and set her on a path toward Ezra. However, after she departed, Thrawn sent Baylan and Shin after her. They were to kill Sabine and Ezra after they reunited, thereby not technically breaking Baylan's word. The thing is, while the new galaxy and the live-action debut of Thrawn were epic, there was something in the episode that was far more important. Baylan Skoll briefly mentioned that something was calling to him on Peridea. It must have been noteworthy because Baylan believed that it was powerful enough to permanently stop the rise and fall of empires. So let's dive into Baylan's character and what that great power could mean for him and the Star Wars franchise going forward. Although Baylan Skoll isn't the main character in Ahsoka, he might actually be the most interesting figure. As the series started, fans knew he was going to be a powerful villain, but he's become a much more nuanced character. He was once a Jedi, and he saw the Order collapse at the hands of Darth Sidious. After that, he became a mercenary, and on the surface, he sided with Thrawn for money and a chance at power in the New World Order. Yet Baylan is much deeper than that. From the very beginning, it seemed like he had an ulterior motive, and little by little, that's becoming more evident. He believed that he was doing something noble by bringing Thrawn out of exile. He even told Ahsoka that it was necessary to start a new war because one must destroy in order to create. It seemed like he simply wanted to destroy everything and start fresh. But Far Far Away took Baylan's character one step further. When he arrived on Peridea, he acted unassuming, like he was totally subservient to Elsbeth and Thrawn. But it seemed like he had another purpose in mind. He told Shin that they would become unimaginably powerful if the old stories about Peridea were true. And not long after, he confirmed that the stories were, in fact, true. He told his apprentice that some mysterious power was calling to him. What that power is and what Baylan intends to do with it will ultimately determine his villainhood, because he clearly has no real allegiance to Thrawn. This is where things start to get really interesting. Baylan spoke of a power calling to him, but he wasn't the first character to hear something calling from deep space. Darth Sidious heard something similar in the unknown regions, and he believed that the call came from the Sith world of Exegol. However, what if it was even more than that? What if Sidious was actually hearing a call from something extragalactic? And if that's the case, what would it mean? One possibility is that Sidious and Baylan were hearing the call of the dark side. That theory holds that the dark side originated on Peridea and somehow made it into the Star Wars galaxy. But that seems unlikely. For starters, the Nightsisters found the intergalactic path, so they would have been the ones to bring the dark side to the Star Wars galaxy. Yet the Nightsisters' magic was totally different from the Sith's understanding of the dark side, so that theory really starts to fall apart. There's something else worth noting. The 3 Nightsister mothers immediately sensed that Sabine had Jedi training, and they had a blatant disdain for her. The thing is, how did the Nightsisters even know what a Jedi was? Besides Ezra, there shouldn't have been any Jedi on Peridea. But what if there were? What if the Jedi originated on Peridea or in this galaxy, just like the Nightsisters? The theory seems far-fetched, but it's actually not. Let me explain. For starters, Huyang kicked off the episode by talking to Ahsoka. Then he started telling her a story. It was titled The History of the Galaxy Part 1, and it started off by saying, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Besides co-opting Star Wars' most famous line and giving it a purpose in story, it makes the idea of Intergalactic Origins a very real possibility. Huyang's stories might have been considered child's tales, but they were clearly based on truth. So what says that the Jedi didn't originate on Peridea and war with the Nightsisters during the ancient depths of time? Maybe that's why the Nightsisters fled Peridea and founded Dathomir in the first place. If the Jedi originated outside of the galaxy, it's possible that Baylan Skoll was hearing the same power that inspired the original Jedi before they ever migrated to the Star Wars galaxy. And it's possible that that was the origin point of the unadulterated Force. A pure power that the dark side and the Sith had never corrupted. That kind of power would explain why the Nightsister mothers were afraid and wanted to flee Peridea, because their magic couldn't compete with the true power of the Force. Something like that would be perfect story fodder for James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie. Thrawn's appearance is clearly setting up Dave Filoni's Mandoverse movie, but going to Peridea and learning that the history of Star Wars and the Jedi started in a different galaxy has to be setting up more. That's why fans should hope to see more of Peridea during the dawn of the Jedi era. But what about the immediate implications? If all of that's true, Baylan is seeking some serious power. The question is what he wants to do with it. He claims he's not a Jedi, and the Nightsister mothers didn't identify him as one, but he doesn't seem fully evil either. He even told Shin that he misses certain parts of the Jedi Order. So is he seeking to establish his own version of the Jedi with a new wellspring of power? Or does he want to create an empire of his own and rule with a power that none could oppose? Another theory states that Baylan wants to destroy the wellspring of the Force. Without the Force, there would be no Jedi and no Sith, which would theoretically help prevent countless wars. It's a valid theory, but it's probably not true, because the Force connects and binds everything together. Without the Force, there would likely be no life at all. So it's much more likely that Baylan wants to claim the power for something. What he does with it will determine if he will be seen as a noble hero, or whether Ezra and Sabine will have to put a stop to his secret machinations. But what do you think? Was Peridea the origin place of the Jedi? Could it be the origin place of the Force itself? And what will Baylan do if and when he finds the power he's looking for? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.